Jake looked at the job posting on his computer screen and sighed. Software engineer at TechStart, entry level. It was his 20th rejection this month, and he was starting to lose hope. Another no-thank-you email, he told his roommate Mark, who was eating cereal at their small kitchen table. Maybe you should lower your expectations, Mark said without looking up. I mean, you just graduated. These big companies want experienced people. Jake frowned. But I worked hard in college. I had good grades. So did everyone else, Mark replied. Face it, man. We're just not special. The next morning, Jake met his classmate Sarah at a coffee shop. Unlike Jake, Sarah had already received 3 job offers. How do you do it? Jake asked, stirring his coffee nervously. We studied the same things and had similar grades. What's different? Sarah smiled. Maybe it's how we think about challenges. When I get rejected, I ask myself what I can learn. When you get rejected, what do you think? Jake considered this. I usually think they don't want me because I'm not good enough. See, that's the difference. You focus on what's wrong with you. I focus on what I can improve. But what if I really am not good enough? Jake asked. Then you get better, Sarah said simply. Last month, I failed a coding interview because I couldn't solve their algorithm problem. Instead of feeling sorry for myself, I spent 2 weeks studying algorithms every morning before interviews. The next interview, I solved it perfectly. Jake felt something shift inside him. You failed too. Of course. Everyone fails. The question is, what do you do next? That evening, Jake called his older brother Tom, who worked as a manager at a tech company. Tom, can I ask you something? When you hire people, what do you look for? Well, skills are important, Tom said. But honestly, I look for attitude. I can teach someone to code better, but I can't teach someone to have a growth mindset. What do you mean? Some people come to interviews thinking they already know everything. Others come ready to learn. Some people see problems as walls. Others see them as puzzles to solve. Guess which ones succeed? Jake thought about his recent interviews. He remembered complaining about difficult questions instead of showing excitement for challenges. He remembered making excuses instead of taking responsibility for his weaknesses. I think I've been the wrong type of person, Jake admitted. The good news is you can change that starting tomorrow, Tom said. The next week, Jake applied to a startup called Innovate Now. During the interview, the CEO asked him a question he couldn't answer. Instead of panicking, Jake remembered Sarah's words. I don't know the answer right now, but I'd love to learn. Could you explain the concept? I'm always excited to understand new things. The CEO smiled. Most people try to fake their way through that question. I like your honesty and curiosity. 2 days later, Jake got the call. We'd like to offer you the position. You may not have the most experience, but you have something more valuable, the right attitude to grow. 3 months into his new job, Jake was already promoted to a senior developer role. His colleague Lisa asked him during lunch, How did you advance so quickly? You started after me. Jake thought for a moment. Someone once told me that a person's attitude determines their development. I used to think my problems came from outside, bad luck, unfair hiring, whatever. Now I know they mostly come from inside, how I think about challenges. But you're still the same person, Lisa said. No, Jake replied, looking out the window at the city skyline. I'm the same person with a different attitude. And that changed everything else. That evening, Jake called Sarah to thank her. You know what's funny, he told her. My height hasn't changed, but somehow I feel like I can reach much higher now. Sarah laughed. That's because you learned the secret. It was never about how tall you are. It's about how tall you think you can become. 单字 entry level 工中等的初级水准 noun the lowest level of an organization, type of work, etc. algorithm 有指电脑使用的演算法计算程式 noun a set of mathematical instructions or rules that, especially if given to a computer, will help to calculate an answer to a problem.